and then go for a treatment, so a facial or a massage, do a lunchtime class, eat my lunch, then back for some more treatments in the afternoon, and dinner and off to bed. So it's basically treatments, workout, and eat and sleep.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
I want this awful thing.
I know. All in luxury.
Oh my goodness. But when it comes to food, when you say healthy, is it completely meat-free or what do they serve?
So you can eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we then make that healthy? Is it the way it's prepared? Is it the amount you eat? What is it?
Oh, she's frozen.
I think she's frozen.
Well, a good thing to freeze now than later.
Yes.
All right.
I think Nat's frozen.
Natalie's a little bit too relaxed. Yeah, okay. She'll pop out and pop in. So as I mentioned earlier, we're doing a little bit of a new thing now. It's going to start like this every day at 8 o'clock on the Big Show TV. So we get a little bit of a warm-up before we go on air. And anyone who's listening to us on radio now is the news and the sports playing.
That's right. So it's a bit of a change. Not much, but just a little bit of a change.
Not much. I mean, sports is playing now. It should be done. We should be on air at about 8:04.
About there.
Yeah. Okay. And
Hope
hopefully
we can get Nat back.
Yeah. We'll get Nat back
Hopefully.
before then.
Because that's interesting, because she was talking about those meals, right? And if there's meat there, then how do we not overindulge in it? I mean, okay, there's self-discipline, but...
Oh, you're talking about the amounts? And
the amounts.
Is it steamed?
How is it prepared? And do they serve you specific quantities?
Is there red meat?
Yeah.
Is the chicken skin taken off?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
High cholesterol, right? Is there seafood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know my meal last night was absolutely healthy as hell.
What was it?
It was bihun with vegetables and the biggest amount of fatty pork I've had in ages. It was brilliant.
That's the thing I don't get with this whole thing about how soup noodles are healthier than your regular
noodles.
No,
it really depends on what you put in it.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the stuff that you say buy from the hawker center, I love my hawker food, but there's no nutrition in that soup noodles. A couple of greens,
a lot of carbs actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, and a lot of sodium still because of the soup.
Would that apply as well for that sliced fish soup, though?
Yes, of course.
Would it really?
Because it's not healthy. I mean, it's.
Because the sliced fish soup is vegetables, it's tomatoes, it's sliced fish, it's bihun, and a clear soup.
Where are the nutrients? Your 3 leaves of vegetables and your 2 tomatoes. That's not enough.
That's
not enough at all.
And also, I think if you cook it at home with the same ingredients, so-called the same ingredients, and then the one that you eat at the hawker center, it tastes very different.
You can control it as well. Yeah. Okay, let's go on air.
Effectively cleans your engine, restores power and performance for a smoother, more responsive drive, all with greater fuel savings.
Waking up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning and welcome to Monday's edition of The Big Show with Angel, Juliana and the Flying Dutchman. And we have the lovely Natalie Dau, a.k.a. Rockstararms, on social media with us this morning. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, everyone.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Caught up with some friends and kept it pretty healthy. Nice long runs. I'm off to Sydney in less than 2 weeks for the marathon. So just warming up for that at the moment.
Nice. Is this your first big run since your 1,000-kilometer run?
It is indeed. So we'll see how we go. But nice to run around Sydney with the view anyway. So I'm not sure how fast it will be.
So you're not aiming for any personal bests or anything?
No, definitely not.
Where does that Sydney run take place, Nat?
It starts in North Sydney and goes over the Harbour Bridge, and then you run through Piermont, Centennial Park, and then you finish at the Opera House.
Oh, nice run.
Wow. Sounds very scenic.
Nice run.
And the weather in 2 weeks will be beautiful.
Yes, it's very warm at the moment, so hopefully that'll play to my advantage.
All right, okay.
Okay, today we're talking about legs.
Getting injured.
And being injured. The lower part of your body. What are some of the common injuries the lower part of the body gets?
Yes, so if we're talking about things like sprains, which is stretches and tears of your ligaments, strains, which is stretches and tears of your muscles. So they're both very different things. Obviously, overuse of your muscles. We've got bruises. So you'll see, obviously, blood and the bruise there. A bone bruise, which is something like, if you've been hit. And then one that's very common is plantar fasciitis. So a lot of people have had that. It can be caused by a couple of things. A lot of times, too long standing. A lot of runners get it. You can get it if you're overweight, and then if you're wearing the wrong shoes, it can actually cause it also.
Right.
This is that pain in the heel, right?
Correct, yeah. And so people sort of try and treat the bottom of their feet. A great way to treat it is shockwave therapy, actually, and really getting into that Achilles and calf area as well as the bottom of your foot.
We see people who run, even people who walk, and we understand the muscle problem, the ankle problems. But how do we protect our knees and our hips when we do this? Because those are going to be two other areas that are suspect.
Yes, and that's the number one question I get asked is, how are your knees? You run so much. Well, my knees are, touch wood, fantastic. But it's because I do strength work. So first and foremost, it's about making sure our glutes are strong. So, the biggest muscle in our body, making sure that butt is good, that our hamstrings are strong, that our quads are strong. And something that people forget about is actually our calves need to be strong as well to support all of that. So that and recovery, I say, are the two biggest things in avoiding injury when you're doing sport.
Okay, so before recovery, you got to work out, right? Which is exactly what we're going to do on the Big Show TV. It is leg day with Natalie. If you want to join us, you can have some weights or you don't need them at all. It looks like it's all standing, so no mat needed at all. Right now, let's go back to the music with Mooney Long and Made for Me on Kiss 92. Okay, right, Natalie, take it away.
All right, guys. So as Angel said, you can have a weight or not have a weight today. I'm just going to actually grab a kettlebell. So we're doing a deadlift, a wide leg squat, then we're doing a left leg pulse, right leg pulse, and then we're going to do a wall sit calf raise. So I'm just going to be using my cupboards here. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, because it's a pretty full-on workout. Our legs will be burning. Getting ready to go in 5 seconds. So that deadlift, remembering we're not squatting, we're hinging at our hips, and we're going to be feeling it in our hamstrings as we go down. So I've got the weight in front of me. My feet are around hip width, maybe a tiny bit more. And we're straight down. And then we've got full extension as we come up as well. So as we come up, squeeze that butt. We talked about working our glutes, and this is the way to do that. Good one to warm up as well. And again, you can do this without weights. Just pop your hands on the back of your head if you're doing it this way. All right, take a break. We're going to do a wide leg squat now. Again, up to you whether you do a weight or not. So our legs are definitely further than hip width apart. Toes are pointing out slightly. And we're going down and up. So pushing those knees out as we go down with this. So you really want to feel it on your inner thigh. Really getting those legs working. Good job. Doesn't matter what sport you do, this is great. This is great just to help you with your walking. Nice, strong. Again, full extension as we come up to the top, squeezing that butt. All right, have a break. Now we're going to do our left leg pulse. Now this is going to be quite full on, so choose a lighter weight maybe to do this, or no weight at all for the first round, up to you. It depends how much you want to challenge yourself. So we're in a lunge position and we're just pulsing. So we're not standing all the way up, we've just got those little micro movements. If you are carrying a weight and your left leg is forward, pop the weight in your right, on your right hand. And with your left hand, don't be resting it on your knee. pop it on your hip or just down to the side. You don't want to be pushing down on that leg. Feel the burn in this. Try and stay with me. Try not and stand all the way up. Just really working those little tiny movements. Good job. You should feel the burn. 3, 2, 1. Good work. We've got to do our other leg now. So right leg forward for me. And I'm grabbing the weight in my left hand this time. Getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Just pulsing. We don't have to go that low. You don't have to have your knee hitting the ground at all. Just get into a comfortable position where you can do those micro movements. Remember to breathe. Try and stay nice and upright. Don't be leaning forward or leaning back. Good work. And it's a nice controlled movement, so there's no jarring. You can also feel it in your hip flexors. They should be stretching nicely. 3, 2, 1. Okay, pop those weights down. For the last exercise, we're going to be doing a wall sit with a calf raise. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can just do a wall sit, or you can join me with a calf raise with this one. So our butts are back, our hips are back, and you can see I'm just taking my heels off the ground as I'm doing this, as I'm sitting in a wall sit. Now we're going to do it for 10 counts, then we're just going to sit in a wall sit. All right, now sit. Hands out in front if you can, or hands on your hips. Don't pop them on your thighs. You should really feel this burning. And let's try another 10. And 8. Stay with me. 2, 1. All right, now to sit in that wall sit. And done. Well done. That was a killer. Ooh.
Oh, well done. Good stuff.
Oh.
Hey, Nat, you know, we were talking about muscles just now. Here's something that I felt yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out how I get around it. So I'm walking, and after about 2.5 kilometers, you know that you've got that small muscle in the front of your calf?
Yeah,
That
starts to hurt,
really
yeah.
starts to hurt and
shin.
tighten up.
The- oh.
It's on your shin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a shin splint. Yeah.
What do I do for that? I mean, is there anything I should be doing?
Yeah, number one, I would look at the shoes you're wearing. So maybe since you've done your back, your stride length is different and your foot is hitting the ground differently. So
Right.
you might need some different support in your shoes first and foremost, because that will cause shin splints more than anything else. And I think about your glutes and how you're engaging those, because that's going to support it. And also get home and get on a foam roller and roll that out, or a massage gun.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
The kids may still be in bed, but it looks like everybody else is out. On the KJE towards the BKE after the Woodlands Road exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on the PIE towards Tuas after the CTE City exit, another vehicle has broken down. And finally on the BKE towards the PIE, a vehicle having some trouble after the Dairy Farm Road exit. WhatsApp us for any updates is 8855 0920. Good morning and happy Monday. No better way to start the week than with Natalie Dau, aka Rockstararms, because we are doing our legs today, and I'm a little bit out of breath because
Just a bit.
You were going through the entire exercise,
thing. Yeah, I finished off with a wall sit. I didn't raise my calves because my calves are toned enough. But what is the benefit of strengthening your calves? Because I feel a lot of people sort of forget about them. They do their glutes, they do the front of their
Quads.
thighs, you know, the hams and whatnot. But the the calves are kind of forgotten sometimes.
Yeah, they are always forgotten, I think. And you think they're great for exercises that are plyometric, for things like jumping. as well. So, we often forget them. They're often too tight, so we forget to stretch them out or roll them out as well. But even things like getting upstairs, basic movements is things that we use our calves for. And if you are a runner or even a walker, it's that movement of pushing off every time you step. That's coming from, it's not just coming from our glutes and our hamstrings and our quads, it's coming from our calves. So you'll find that lots of runners, when they're doing a decent distance, their calves will cramp. It's the one thing that happens in races, and it's because people, haven't necessarily trained their calves as a separate muscle.
FD had an interesting question on the Big Show TV, and I've experienced the pain before of your shin splint, which is the front of your leg, that one muscle right next to that bone that starts to ache after you walk too much. Tell us what you went through yesterday, FD.
I was doing a walk, and after about 2.5 kilometers, it started to tighten and really hurt. And I didn't know what to do. So all I did was I pulled back and I slowed down.
And painful, though.
It's painful.
Yeah, especially when you rub
painful.
Yeah, it is. And so I think great to get that foam roller out or that massage gun when you get home and roll around, not just where that pain is, but roll on your quad as well, and down the side of your quad, because it's going to be pain, like it's going to be tight the whole way on your leg. So you're getting pain there, but you're going to be tight everywhere. As I said, check your shoes, because especially after your back injury, your feet may be landing in a different position now, or they might just be needing an upgrade. You're never going to wear out some shoes, so we need to just check how long we've actually had them for, because that foam may not be supporting your feet enough. And sadly, with things like shin splints, rest is one of the very few things that are going to fix it.
Yeah.
Nat, apart from shoes, how about the way we walk? Is there a correct stride? Because sometimes I see people running on their, they go heel first, and sometimes they're like tippy toe.
Or tiptoe, yeah.
And some people have they run on the sides of their feet or the insides of the feet. Is there a correct way? Can you fix the way you run?
Yeah, so if you're running on the sides or you see people going in, like turning in, then they generally need some orthotics, because that's not great for you, and that's going to cause knee pain and hip pain and back pain. But whether you're a heel striker, a mid striker, or a front foot striker, it's a very personal thing. Ideally, you're a midfoot striker, but we get to a certain age and it's really just not worth trying to change our stride, because our bodies become efficient at walking or running that way. So unless you're really taking your running seriously or, planning on competing at a national level, most people will just find what's efficient and works for them. So there isn't really a right and wrong. It's what's right for your body.
And that's why the shoes are so important.
As long as you're not getting injured, you don't need to change anything. Yeah.
Right.
All right, it's leg day on the Big Show TV. So join us on Facebook and YouTube to get some workout in for the legs. The time right now is 8:19.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me just fix that. All right, we're ready for round 2 to smash those legs again. We know what we're doing this time, so if you didn't use a weight and you do have one at home, then maybe give it a go this time. Getting ready in 3, 2, 1 for those deadlifts. So deadlifts are an exercise where you can generally go heavier than other things, other than, heavier than what you do a squat with, much heavier than anything you do overhead with, because you're using your major muscle group, and so it's easier to get some strength in there and some heavier weight. Good job. Remember, full extension at the top. All right, shake that out. We've got those wide leg squats. Good job. Remember, toes pointing out slightly, wider than hip width. Getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Good job. pushing those inner thighs out, pushing those knees out as we come down, and a nice strong stand. If you've got a weight, then you shouldn't be gripping it too tightly. You could almost just hold it with one hand. So it's not an arm workout. Your arms should be nice and relaxed and just hanging down in front. The weight is actually working your lower body, not your upper body. And if you're using a dumbbell, then just grab it by the top, by its head. All right, let's have a break, shake those legs. We've got those pulses coming up. So left leg forward for the first set. Grabbing that weight. It's good for balance, obviously. All right, and off we go, pulsing. So you should be feeling this in your hamstrings, in your glutes, in your hips, in your calf. It's a really great one. And if you are a walker or a runner, this is going to help it dramatically. Good job. So it doesn't always have to be about big, huge movements. Sometimes the little ones are the ones that hurt and work us the most. All right, change sides. Just give it a shake out. Getting ready to go again. The other side, right foot forward. Three, two, one. Remembering nice and upright as we do this. And also think about using your core and engaging that. So suck in that stomach. Really feeling it in the quads. Again, we talked about knee injuries, so an exercise like this is great. It's helping with your knee stability. That's it. Keep those little pulses going. Great work. And we are on to those awful wall sits last. So remembering we're trying to get in a 90-90 position as we go down. Hold it here. All right, if you want to join me for the calf races, we're going to do 10 of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold it here. From a rehab point of view, if you are coming off an injury, especially a knee injury, wall sits are the money to do. So they're not exciting, they're not fun, but they actually allow you to build your muscles without injuring your knee even more. So they are such a great exercise. And we're done. Good work.
Perfect. Nat, I mean, just as I was working out with you, I found myself to be breathless. Are there times that you find yourself more breathless than others?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I was a bit in the end then too. So I think it's just that your heart rate's sort of spiking quite dramatically because your body's going, what the heck? So what exercise was it when you started sort of...
No, just the second round more so.
The second round?
Yeah, the second round.
Absolutely. And your body's woken up now and it's going, okay, we're in this. We're going to pump that blood faster. We're in a little bit of distress, so we're going to react to that. And then you'll find if we did those long enough, then it'll settle back down. But it sort of was almost fight or flight mode, and then you'll calm it down.
So for anyone that, say, experiences something like that, they go into a class, they're completely relaxed, had a coffee or whatever it is at a Starbucks, then they go straight into a class like a HIIT class. What should they do if they find themselves out of breath? And usually when you find yourself in that situation, you want to stop completely and then give up?
Yeah, and number one, don't have a coffee before you go and do a HIIT class because that's going to spike your heart rate dramatically and maybe even give you some shakes. So it's not give up. It's like just calm yourself down. You're not dying, hopefully. Your heart rate's just spiking because you're working hard, and it's okay. It's just about like taking some breaths. If you need to just slow it down and like you said, try not and stop, but just slow it down and listen to your body, and then you can push a bit later. But, you don't have to do crazy push. You want to keep that heart rate consistent if you can, rather than up and down, up and down.
Nat, earlier we were talking about shin splints and how shoes would be one of the important things. How do I know when I go out and look for new shoes now that these are the right shoes for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you want to go to someone who knows how to fit shoes. So I would say go to a store where they will put you on a treadmill or where they can scan your feet. And, I will say ASICS have that in their stores.
Yeah.
So does someone like Running Lab, who are multi-brand. And those guys will be able to look at how you're striking the treadmill or the scan and know where you're going to need support, because there's so many shoes out there for pronators, super pronators, whatever it is. But they'll ask you how far you walk or run, if you have any injuries, what sort of support do you need? Do you wear orthotics? All of those things make a massive difference in how you choose a shoe.
Okay.
How trained are these people that sell you those shoes, Natalie? Because I've always wondered, because it's quite a scientific process, to tell how you strike. I mean, there are the basics, like, okay, if someone comes in, they're pronated or whatever, give them these. But how trained are they?
Yeah, so I think if you really want to have it done properly, go to a foot doctor or podiatrist. I think is the way to go. If you're really having some issues, then they are the experts and they will tell you what type of shoe to buy, right down to recommending which brand will suit you best. So my advice is to go and see them.
Okay, hang on. We're going back to traffic.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're traveling down Pioneer Road north towards the PIE, right after Jurong West Street 91, you would have noticed some slow traffic there because of an accident that's taking up the right lane. Also in the CTE tunnel towards the SLE at the Bukit Road entrance, of vehicles broken down. And finally on the PIE in both directions to the airport after the BKE, avoid lane 3 of vehicles broken down, and towards Tuas after Upper Jurong Road, another vehicle's broken down there. Our number 88550920. We're back with Natalie Dau on air, and we have Angel, Juliana, and the Flying Dutchman with you this morning, and we're talking about legs today and injuries as well.
Nat, why is it that we should never skip a leg day?
You should never skip leg day, as the memes say. I think for legs, it is, they build strength, speed, and stability. They're two of the biggest muscles in our bodies, so we use them more than anything else. And obviously, FD, in your recovery, they give us stability and balance. It's so important that that we really do train our legs, and even if it is just for balance and for things like just, standing up and sitting down, the most basic movements that we need for the rest of our lives, then it's important. A good test anyone can do is have a seat that's sort of 90 degrees low, so you can go down to 90 degrees and see how many times you can sit down and stand up in 30 seconds, which is a really good benchmark, and then start to improve that. And it's a really simple exercise that doesn't matter what age you are, you can do that. But that would be my first thing. And standing on one leg at a time, and then try standing on one leg at a time with your eyes closed. So just basic exercises like that.
Yeah.
Natalie, if there's one thing you could tell people at the gym when it comes to the lower body, because a lot of people concentrate on the little waist and the wide the wider behinds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're always doing their deadlifts, their squats, their thighs. Is there anything that you feel they're missing out on in terms of leg day?
Yeah, I think not a lot of people do basic exercises like single leg exercises, like just step ups, for instance. It's something that everyone can do. You can do it weighted or unweighted. Every one of us has got one leg stronger than the other. So at least if we're doing single leg exercises, we actually can work out where we need to build muscle or where we need to strengthen and what our weaknesses are, and that will help avoid injury. So I think it's doing those. We do a lot of frontal movements and a lot of sidle crane movements as well. So just basic things. We don't have to be doing huge complex workouts. Just some step ups and some side movements would be great.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Natalie. Do we see you next week, or will you already be in Sydney?
No, I'll see you next week.
Okay,
Awesome.
fantastic. We look forward to it. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Here's Valerie by Mark Ronson featuring Amy Winehouse on Kiss 92.